What I'm doing is I am going through every one of his irons on the Mitchell machine and dialing in the loft and lie, or just checking them. Now I'm going to take the new set that we just cut and gripped, and I'm going to make all of these loft and lies exactly that. And then we'll go to the swing weight scale and we'll make all of the swing weights exactly that. The only little trick I'm using is I'm using a business card to put on the loft and lie machine, because it sits on two little bevels, and when you bend on it, it pushes down and it can leave indentations in the sole. And so it's just a little trick that we use. It's you don't have to, but it just kind of doesn't leave any tool marks on it. And so we've just done it for a long time. We take old business cards, just do it that way. So Michael, my assumption is that these lofts are going to be a little strong, and you're going to want to back them out, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to want to do with that. I'd
On
like
the
to
lofts?
kind of...
You want to play them as is for now?
I want to play them as is for now.
Set the lies and go with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when we say they're going to be strong, what's that going to...
So this is 20 versus 21 on yours on the 3-iron. They should all be right at 1, probably.
Okay.
You want to leave them?
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave... I think I'm going to leave the lofts the way they are, but the lies...
And see what they do?
Yeah. Is that not flat? We did cut a little bit off.
It's the same now. Look at it and see. See, and there's a good example. So the club looks a little different. So he thought it was flat, but it was actually a hair upright. But many times he is the opposite. He'll tell you. He just...
Yeah, I look at it and I'm like, man, it's too flat. And he comes in, it's like 3 degrees upright. I'm like, okay. Flat ski?
1.5 degrees.
Whoa. Whoa.
You know, it's easy to say that you can make 2 sets of irons the same specs and they'll act the same. That's not necessarily the case. You know, if the soles are a little different, it might go through the turf a little differently, or if the center of gravity is a little different, the ball might fly a little different. You know, based on him, if the offset's a little different, it may not curve quite as much. So sometimes, you know, if he's curving them a little bit too much, maybe we flatten them out a little bit, because he'll miss it to the left. Not curving enough, we might make him a little more upright to try and make him move a little bit. But you just, I think if we start with no variables, then we'll be okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
Our deal is he has to play these for more than 1 week in a row.
Or how about just get him to the golf course?
That'd be nice.
That'd be good.
They're all a little flat now. Is that what you thought?
Yeah. Yep, last time I came in here and bent the club, I broke it. He didn't know I was doing it.
It's interesting, this same machine, the Mitchell tour gauge machine, has been the machine of choice for tour vans and fitting centers for years. Now, there's a couple of places that have like slight variations. You know, Nike has the green machine, which they say they can measure more precisely with, but then they still bend on one of these. They just use it for measuring. You got Ping that still uses a mallet. I mean, they have a table that has all the color codes and all the angles on it and so forth, and they check it and then they take it out and they wallop it with a mallet, and that's just how Mr. Solheim used to do it, and they continue to do it that way. So, you know, but on the tour vans you still see this is it. This is brand new. Our old machine's over there. We wore it out, so we've had this one a couple of weeks. So it's good that we checked Michael's on here too, because every machine's a little different, and we calibrated this just exactly like we calibrated the last one, so we used them and made them the same, so it should be pretty good.
Whoa. Whoa.
All right, Michael, let's do the next step here. You're all excited now, aren't you?
Yeah, I want to go hit. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I just want to go hit.
All right. No change. So what I'm doing essentially is I'm taking Michael's clubs, I'm weighing them just one at a time, his old set, and I want to make this new set just exactly the same. And since they're already built, normally you would, if you built them, you would make them all just exactly the same, but they've already been built and assembled. So this is just dialing it in with lead tape. We're just going to do, you know, a little tweak here and there. The first 2 clubs honestly didn't need a thing on them. and the 5-iron needed just a tiny piece of lead tape just to make up half a point. And you know, for the average golfer and the tolerances that you're allowed in building clubs, that half a point wouldn't really matter. But for him, because the whole set blends together, it just wouldn't be good to have one that was just odd. So we're going to make them all the same, and that way that'll be one less variable to even think about. So I used to work for a manufacturer, and we'd get people call in and just complaining that their clubs were half a swing weight off. You know, and I wanted to take a post-it note and mail it to them and go, "There's your half a swing weight." You know, just a little over the top, maybe.
Whoa, whoa!
They wouldn't be as good as they are at what they do if they settled for just average. Always looking for that little edge, you know.
Just a little one.
Regardless of how big or how small that edge may be. Perfect.
1:30, hour 30 to do all this.
No, generally speaking, it would go a lot faster, but the grips are the big thing, you know, with all the tape.
What are the weights of them?
So D2 through D4.
Okay.
The last three are D4. The first
Is that pretty standard?
D2 is the first one, and D3 are the middle two. So.
Is that pretty standard?
Mm-hmm. Well, for somebody that uses your length, yeah.
Okay. See, that's the type of stuff that I don't know. That's why we got him.
All right.
Sort my crap out.
We're done. Right?
Yeah, let's go hit them.
Let's go see how they feel.
Whoa. Whoa.